Well, there are still many questions after a tour boat capsized in the Lockport Caves, killing a passenger trapped under the boat.
News 4 Investigates dug through the records, and Tara Lynch has some answers tonight. Tara.
Well, Dave and Kelsey, we've learned that the Lockport Cave tours have operated since the 1970s, and many in the city call it a crown jewel for tourism. But after more than a week of digging, we found that when it comes to safety oversight, it's fallen through the cracks.
You just slipped right by. It wasn't something anybody had control over.
James McCann worked for the city of Lockport as a building inspector for more than 3 decades. Before the Lockport Cave and underground boat ride ran its first tour in June 1976, McCann was in City Hall scratching his head over who would be responsible for the ride's safety.
It was something new to everybody, and so people were just curious out of a lot of it that who would be in charge of seeing that everything was done properly in the cave.
He said he scoured through all 3 code books New York State had at the time. He found nothing to do with caves, tunnels, or boats. So he called the State Department in Albany and confirmed that code just doesn't exist.
We had no code or access even to look at a tunnel or a cave or anything. It wasn't anywhere near our expertise. It just wasn't there.
Now, almost 5 decades later, there still isn't a proper code.
And now we've gone from 3 to 7 large manuals, and I'll tell you what, I think you'd play heck to try to find it in any of those too.
Just days after the tour boat capsized, killing 65-year-old Harshad Shah and injuring 11 others, the attraction was closed following an inspection that found electrical issues. This included exposed electrical wiring underwater. News 4 sent several Freedom of Information Law requests for inspection records. The city of Lockport sent us this, showing there were no inspections prior to last week.
When it came to this, there was nobody that had control of who goes in and says that, the tunnel's right, the cave's right. I don't have a clue.
After a call from News 4, Lockport police confirmed a similar incident happened in 2015, but no case report was ever filed because there were no reported injuries. A tour boat carrying passengers from what is now called Our Lady of Victory capsized, sending Sherry Scavone's son into the water. He was 15 at the time. We spoke to her previously about her safety concerns.
To find out that none of the safety elements are in place and no one is actually there's no oversight over this is pretty appalling.
So how do we make sure something like that doesn't happen again? Right now, there is no state agency that has jurisdiction over the registration or inspection of vessels in non-public, non-navigable waterways. Governor Kathy Hochul is proposing a law that would put the State Office of Parks and Rec in charge of commercial tourism boats and caves. In our investigation, we also asked about the Niagara Zipper, a zip line owned by the same company as the cave tours. New York State responded to our Freedom of Information Law request, saying the Zipper passed inspection in July of last year, and it expires at the end of this July. We reached out to Tom Callahan, the owner of both the cave tours and the Zipper, multiple times, but have not heard back. And we're still waiting to hear exactly what caused the Lockport Cave boat to capsize last week. Lockport officials tell News 4 the cave tours are still closed, padlocked because of the active police investigation. For now in studio, Tara Lynch, News 4.